has a significant impact on the lives of 4 unrelated women in the novel For Women.
For Women is the first book by Jacksonville author Nikesha Williams, who joins us this morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on your first book.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Excited?
Very. Nervous.
How does someone
excited.
get to the point to actually publish their first book?
It was a long journey. There's the traditional route, which is traditional publishers. You write it, you pitch it, you try to find an agent, they pitch it, they try to find a publisher, and it comes out that way. Or, which I tried, and it didn't work completely. So at one point, my agents, I kind of just went separate ways, and I was like, I'm still going to put the book out because it's done. Right. And then it became about self-publishing and making sure that I had a graphic designer to do the cover, to build my website, that I hired an editor to copy edit to find any mistakes because you won't catch everything, and then putting it out and promoting it here with you great people.
Well, that's a lot of folks are going that way, but it requires a lot of work.
It does.
Self-publishing is not an easy way to go.
Not at all.
So tell us a little bit about your inspiration behind this story.
The book, I am a news producer by trade, so 2012 was when Trayvon Martin was killed. His 23rd birthday would have been a couple of days ago. That same year in Jacksonville, Jordan Davis was killed, and so I was producing all these stories about young African-American men and boys being killed and shot. And, you know, as news people, some of those stories never really leave you. And as an African-American woman, it was like, well, where are the women in these stories? So then I wanted to write a book about the women from the point of view of the women. And so all 4 characters are African-American women. They are the protagonist, they are the suspect, they are the victim, and we find out what happens in their lives in this story.
That is so interesting.
Thank you.
I mean, you know, a lot of those stories do have to do with men, you know, but and we don't connect it to the women behind them, but there's a woman behind a lot of those stories. And,
exactly, and so I wanted to put the women in the forefront, even if it is fiction.
Wow, what an inspiring story. So what's next? I mean, do you have plans to write more books? What do you think?
Yes, so while I've been working on For Women and getting it out, I actually wrote a book last year and just printed it and put it to the side. After a lot of people have read this book, they have asked for a sequel, so I am working on that now. I'm about 14 chapters into the sequel, and I hope to release it in by the summertime. I won't give an exact date so that people don't jump down my throat if it's not out. So yes, there are lots of plans to do a lot more writing and just make that my full-time gig at some point.
And you mentioned the self-publishing. I think we have video of you doing some events, getting out, doing some readings, some book signings.
Yes.
That's a big part of it, isn't it?
Yes, promotion. You have to be your number one motivator and your number one promoter. So I pop up in everybody's inbox and say, hey, can I come and do something? So I held my own event for the actual book release, and then I've done the Fresh Book Festival down in Daytona. I'll be doing the Jacksonville Book Festival in March. I'll be doing a couple speaking engagements with TED by FSU, my alma mater, and TED by FSCJ, which is in Jacksonville, just to talk about the book and just everything that I'm passionate about.
Wow. Now, interesting, you mentioned that you're in news. What did your station think about you using this, you know, kind of the ideas that you got from their stories there and then developing them out?
The book started when I was actually between stations. Okay. So, and then by the time it was ready to come out, I was like, hey, this book is coming out. It has nothing to do with anyone here. It's not about anyone in this building. It is all fiction. And they were like, okay, yeah, great. Just make sure that you don't implicate us, and we'll give you a writer to release and do whatever you need to do.
That is so great. So what advice do you have for maybe other young writers hoping to get that first book published?
The main thing is to write, and write well. And that's the first thing. You can't do anything about saying, I want to write a book, and actually writing a book are 2 different things. You can want to write a book all the time, but to sit down and to actually write the book is the first step. And then after that is just go whichever way that you feel you should go. You can go the self-publishing route because Amazon is taking over the industry as it is many other industries, and it's a great way to go if you can't go the traditional route. But try your hand at both and see what sticks.
Where can folks get For Women?
For Women is available on Amazon, it's available on iBooks, and it is available on Kindle.
Wow. Do you have a website yourself?
I do. It is www.newwrites.com.
Great.
Folks, maybe you can follow some updates for that sequel.
Yes, you can follow updates on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Nikesha Elise.
Fantastic. Congratulations on all the success. Look forward to that next one.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll be right back.